Welcome, welcome. This is Gentle Vinyasa. So, just a set of blocks for today. If you don't have blocks, you can use pillows or a book that's not going to open while you're using. I'm just setting them on opposite ends only because I pivot to the right when I want to face you guys when I open up to Warrior 2, and then pivot to the left when I open up to Warrior 2. That way I'm constantly facing you guys. You can also use a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use a single or double loop band. You can use a towel, a t-shirt, anything. The strap is totally optional, as is are the blocks. We're going to start laying on our back today, drawing the soles of your feet to touch. You are welcome to place a block underneath your hips if you would like, or just lay flat on the floor. We're going to stay here and find our breath. You are welcome to bring your palms down by your side. You can also bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, feeling the rise and fall as you breathe. Just gently letting your knees fall open, soles of your feet to touch. Your heels can be as close in towards your hips or as far away as you would like. Deep inhales, feeling the belly, ribs, lungs. Hold at the top. Full exhale, lungs, ribs, and belly. Keeping that breath, deep inhale, filling all the way to the top. Once you get there, hold it for a breath. Full exhale. One more just like that, deep inhale through your nose, filling belly, ribs, and lungs. Hold it at the top. Exhale through your mouth, lungs, ribs, and belly. Maintain that same breath. Deep inhale and exhale through your nose. Once you get to the top, seal your lips. Full exhale through your nose. Maybe finding a focus, finding intention for class this evening. One more full breath just like that. Full exhale. If you have a block under your hips, go ahead and draw your knees to touch, lifting your hips to release that block from your hips. If you don't have a block, you can roll it to your left or right side, gently pushing yourself up to a seated position. You can do crisscross applesauce, right in the front, left in the front, or soles of your feet to touch. Maybe walk your hips side to side, sinking your hips back down in towards the floor, stacking your shoulders directly over your hips. Hands just gently press into your knees. Bring your shoulders up towards your ears. Deep inhale. Exhale to release your shoulders down, rolling your shoulders back and down towards the wall behind you. Inhale, draw your shoulders up towards your ears, high shrug. Exhale, roll them down. Maybe close your eyes. One more just like that. Inhale, shoulders to ears. And release everything down. Keeping your shoulders relaxed down from your ears. Reach your hands by your side. Draw your arms up high overhead. Cactus your elbows, bend your elbows, lift your gaze, spread your fingertips wide. Bring your gaze forward, arms come back up overhead. Two more just like that. Draw your elbows down. Imagine you're trying to squeeze a pencil between your shoulder blades. Fingertips are nice and wide, gaze is lifted. Draw your gaze back forward. Inhale, arms come up high. Exhale, bend the elbows. deepening that cactus. Lift your gaze back, forward, arms come up high overhead. Release your right hand down to the floor or a block. Left arm comes up high overhead, left bicep to left ear. Bend your left elbow and extend. Cartwheel your hands down to the left side, left hand down to the floor or a block. Right bicep to right ear. Bend into your right elbow. Spread your fingertips wide and extend. Repeat that one more time on each side. Right hand down to the floor or a block. Left arm comes up high overhead. We're going to add on to this one. Bend your left elbow and extend. This time, gently rotate your body facing towards your right hand. Gently bring your left pinky towards your left thumb. They do not have to touch. Hold that extension with your left hand and draw left arm wide out in front. Big semicircle over to the left side. Left hand comes down to the floor or a block. Reach your right arm high towards the ceiling, right bicep to right ear. Bend your right elbow, spread your fingertips wide. Extend your right arm long. And then rotate your body towards your left hand and gently bringing your right pinky towards your left thumb. Draw your arms out wide in front. Place both hands on either side, sweep your arms up high overhead. Hands to heart center. From here, we're going to find our child's pose. So just lifting your hips forward, bringing your toes to touch, your knees are already wide, and then walking your hands out in front, coming into that child's pose. I'm just going to pivot so I'm in line with my mat, sinking your hips towards your heels. You are welcome to bring your forehead to the floor or a block. Actively stretching your fingertips long in front. Actively pressing your hips in towards your heels. Knees fall wide, toes to touch. Maintain that same breath just as we started with. From this position, walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. Placing your left hand on top of your right, right bicep to right ear. Pressing your right hip in towards your right heel. Feeling that lengthening sensation all on the right side of your body. You're welcome to keep your left hand crossed over the right, or you can release that left hand, bind it around towards your right hip crease. On your next exhale, gently release your left hand if you have it binded. Walk your hands to the center. Draw them over to the right side of your body. From here, place your right hand on top of your left. Left bicep to left ear. Actively pressing your left hip in towards your left heel. Seeing how this side may feel different than the other, you're welcome to keep that right hand on top of the left, or you can bind that right hand around towards your left hip crease. On your next exhale, if you have your right hand binded, go ahead and release it back down to the floor. Walk your hands back to center. Maybe roll your head from side to side. Gentle stretch of the neck, just letting everything relax here. You can tempt your fingers, lifting your palms off of the floor. Shoulders are lifted. Active shoulder stretch in child's pose. Releasing your palms back to the floor. You can bend your elbows, bringing your palms to touch. If you like a deeper tricep stretch, you can draw your thumbs toward the nape of your neck. You can also walk your elbows towards the crown of your head, actively sinking your hips in towards your heels. Holding wherever you are for one more breath. On your next exhale, gently release your hands back down towards the floor. From here, Walk your hands in towards your knees, finding your tabletop position with your wrists stacked directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. We're going to tuck the toes, hammock the belly, lift the gaze. Inhale, coming into cow. Exhale, scoop and arch. Round your spine, untuck your toes, bringing your gaze to the tops of your thighs. Coming through neutral spine as you tuck your toes. Inhale, lift your gaze. Hammock your belly button down towards the floor. Spiral your elbow creases in towards one another. As you exhale, untuck your toes, scoop and arch, rounding your spine, coming into cat. Let's do that one more time through on each side. Tuck your toes, coming through neutral spine, lift your gaze. And as you exhale, untuck your toes, round your spine outward. Coming back to a neutral spine, back is flat. From here, gently walk your fingertips outwards towards the outer edge of your mat at any degree. They don't have to be at a full 90-degree angle. With your elbow creases spiraled in, you are welcome to hold it here. If you would like more stretch, you can rock from side to side, left to right, right to left. And then come back to center. You're welcome to stay here, or you can spiral your fingertips in towards your knees for a deeper stretch. Option to hold it here if you would like. You can rock your hips backwards and forwards. Warming up those wrists. And when you're ready, coming back to a neutral spine, go ahead and draw your fingertips back towards the top of your mat. We're going to flip the right palm up, so your right palm is up towards the ceiling, left palm is down towards the earth. You're welcome to stay here if you like. You can rock your hips forwards and backwards, maybe side to side if that feels good to you. You can also just hold it with the palm facing up. Coming back to neutral spine, go ahead and bring your right palm facing down towards the floor, flip your left palm up towards the ceiling, and then same options here. You're welcome to hold it just where you're at. Maybe move your hips side to side or forwards and backwards. Coming back to a neutral spine, bring your left palm facing back down towards the earth, tucking your toes and then pressing your hips in towards your heels. Lovely calf stretch here. To deepen the sensation, press your hips closer towards your heels. To lessen it, release your hips away from your heels. On your next inhale, come back through tabletop. We patter out the toes. Go ahead and lift your left arm high towards the ceiling. And then reach your left arm under and through the right side of the body. Inhale, lift your left arm high. Exhale, reach under and through the right side body. One more time. Left arm reaches high. Inhale, exhale, reach under and through the right side body. Hovering and holding for 3, 2, and 1. Extend that left arm longer, release it down. Option to bring your left ear or cheek to the floor. You are more than welcome to also place it on a block. You're welcome to hold it just here. You can also extend that right arm forward. You can bind that right hand around towards your left hip crease. If you have your right arm binded or extended, go ahead and release it back underneath your right shoulder. Press yourself up. Left arm reaches high towards the ceiling. And then go ahead and release your left hand down. Reach your right arm high towards the ceiling, under and through the left side body. Getting my left and right tongue tied this evening. Right arm reaches up, deep inhale. Exhale as you reach your right hand under and through the left side body. One more time through, just like that. Right arm reaches up high with your inhale. Exhale, reach under and through, hovering, holding that right hand for 3, 2, and 1. Extend that right arm 1 inch further and release it down to the floor. And then releasing your right ear or cheek to the floor or to a block, whichever is more comfortable. You're welcome to keep your left hand box out underneath your left shoulder. You can extend that left arm long out in front. You can also bind that left hand around towards your right hip crease. Your next inhale, go ahead and release your left hand underneath your shoulder if it was extended or binded. Inhale, reach your right arm up high towards the ceiling, and then release your right hand down. Go ahead and extend your right leg straight back, and then extend your left arm forward. We're just going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Lift your right leg high and then draw it up and over towards the outer left edge of your left hip and your left foot. Gazing, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, lift that right leg. Exhale, bring that right knee back in line with your left. Maybe bump your hip side to side. Come back to center. Extend your left leg straight back. Square out those hips. Flex your left toe. Extend your right arm out long. You're always welcome to keep that right hand down. We're just going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you have that right hand, let's go ahead and release it down to the floor. Lift your left leg high. Stretch it up and over the outer right edge of your hip, gazing, looking over your right shoulder. On your next inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, tuck your left knee in line with your right. From here, bring your hands a palm print forward. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, coming into our first downward facing dog this evening. Pedal your heels, lifting and lowering one heel at a time. Your gaze remains towards the tops of your thighs, biceps framing your ears. Spiral those elbow creases in towards one another. Maintain that same breath just as when we started. Lowering both the heels towards the earth. They don't have to touch. Lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack your right hip, opening up that right hip, maybe circle out that right ankle. From here, draw your right knee in towards your right elbow. Kick it back, three-legged dog, square out the hips. And then draw your right foot to the outer right hand. Your toes are facing to 2 o'clock. You can release your left knee down to the floor, untucking your left toes, or keeping that left leg lifted. We're going to hold it here in lizard, opening up that right hip. We're going to extend that right leg as you draw the hips back. Press your hips forward. You can also bring your hands to blocks here out in front, pressing the hips back and forward. You can bring your chest as low towards the floor or keep it as high as you'd like. On the next one, hold the hips forward. We're going to release that left hand to the floor or a block and bring your right hand to the inside of your right knee. And then just gently gazing, looking over your right shoulder, gently pressing your right knee open, allowing that right hip to open up slightly more, coming onto the outer knife edge of that right foot. And breathing. On your next inhale, go ahead and come back to the center. Release your hands down to the floor. or to a block. Tuck your left toes, lift your right leg high, three-legged dog, and then lower your right foot. Go ahead and pedal your heels here, right back to where we started, finding that breath. On your next breath, go and lower your heels towards the floor. They don't have to touch. Lift your left leg high, three-legged dog, square out the hips, and then bend your left knee, stacking your left hip on top of the right, maybe circling out your left ankle. And what you do in one direction, go ahead and do it in the other direction as well. Square out the hips, extend the left leg straight, flex your left toes, draw your knee to the left elbow, and kick it back. From here, draw your foot to the outer left wrist. Your left toes are facing to 10 o'clock. You can keep that right knee lifted. You can also release it down, coming into lizard lunge on the left side. You are welcome to bring those blocks underneath your hands. We're going to rock the hips back, straightening that left leg, and then pressing the hips forward. Maybe getting deeper into that lizard lunge stretch each time you bend into that left knee. Chest can stay lifted. You can also bring your hands down or forearms down to the floor. One more time. On the next one, we're going to hold that left knee bent. Hold that hinge forward. If your hands are on blocks, or you can release your hands or forearms down to the floor. Left toes remain facing to 2 o'clock. From here, keep your right hand on the floor or on that block. Release your left hand from the floor of the block. Place it to the inside of your left knee. And just gently press that left knee open, gazing, looking over your left shoulder. As you actively press your knee open, you're pivoting on your left outer knife edge of your left foot. So that pinky all the way down to the outer heel. On your next inhale, gently come back forward, bringing your hands to the floor. We're going to tuck that right toe and then press the hips up, three-legged dog. And then release that left leg down, pedal at the heels. Now we're nice and warm. So from here, you can bring those blocks on either side, left or right side of you. I'm just going to keep mine over on the inside, that way they don't block your view. We're holding in this downward facing dog. We're going to come into our first flow. Pedaling those heels, biceps frame your ears. You can always come into child's pose. From here, lower your heels. Lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack your hip. Circle out that right ankle. Reverse the direction. Maybe circle out the knee, down and around. Square out the hips, extend that right leg straight back. Tuck your knee in toward your chest. And then step it through. Once you ground through with your right foot, rise up. High crescent. That back left leg is lifted. Arms come up straight overhead. Shoulders stacked directly over your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you hinge forward. Sweep the arms straight back. Palms stay facing in. Inhale to rise. Arms come up high overhead. Back to high crescent. Exhale, hinge forward. Arms sweep back. 2 more times. Rise up, high crescent. Deep inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. 1 more just like that. Inhale to rise. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Hold it here for a breath. On your next inhale, sweep your arms forward. Hold it for a breath. Deep inhale. As you exhale, pivot your left toes, open up to warrior two. Tee out those arms. Deep bend into your front right leg. Left leg is straight. Actively stretching and reaching long in opposite directions. From here, we're going to straighten that right leg. Bring your arms up high overhead. Inhale. Exhale, bend to that right knee. Tee out the arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Find that deep bend here. Holding and breathing. Maybe gaze over your right knee. Find that big pinky, that big toe. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Tuck your left hand behind your back towards your right hip crease or down your left leg. High five that wall behind you with your right hand. Maintain that bend in your front right knee. Come through warrior two. Draw your right hand down to the floor, to blocks, or to your right knee. Left bicep to left ear. Holding and breathing. From here, straighten that right leg. Coming into triangle. Lift your left arm high. Imagine you're trying to squeeze your thighs together. For a deeper sensation, rotate your left shoulder open. Rotate your pinky towards that wall behind you. If you get the wobbles, that's okay. Come back, find your breath. Maintain that right leg straight. We're going to reverse our triangle. Tuck your left hand behind your back or down your right foot. Right arm comes up high. Deep inhale. Exhale, cartwheel down. Bend into that front right knee. Hold it here for a breath. You are welcome to bring your hands to those blocks. That back left leg is lifted. From here, keep your left hand on the floor or a block to that inside that right leg. Reach your right arm high. Circle out your wrist. Circle out your shoulder forwards and then backwards. From here, rise up as you pivot your right arm back, left arm forward. High lunge with a twist. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Maybe sink your hips lower, bend deeper into that front right knee. Hold it here, hold that twist. Bring your hands to heart center. And then draw that left elbow towards the outside of your right knee. Here. Find or come through center. We're going to step that left foot to meet the right. Hold it here in chair. Again, you can maintain that bind with your left elbow to the outer right knee, or just keeping your hands to heart center. We're going to pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Rise up. Steeple grip. Bind your hands. Release your index finger. Biceps frame your ears. Zip your legs together. Draw the arms to the right, hips to the left. Come back through center. Arms to the left, hips to the right. One more time on each side. Rise back through center. Hands to the right, hips to the left. Imagine trying to bump somebody off of your mat. Come back through center, hips to the right. Hands to the left. Come back through center. Swan dive, forward fold. Hands to the floor or blocks. Half lift, hands to shins, crown of your head away from your body. Pulling yourself forward. Back to that forward fold. From here, extend your left leg back. You can extend that right leg back to a high plank. You can release your knees down or lift that right leg up and come through chaturanga, slow lower and lift. Tuck your toes coming through tabletop or straight to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels. Find your breath. All right, let's repeat that on the left side. Lower your heels to the floor. Lift your left leg high, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee, stack your hip. Circle out your left ankle. You draw your hip down and around. One more time. From here, tuck your knee in towards your chest. Step through. You're welcome to bring your hands to blocks on either side of your foot. Once you ground through, rise up, high crescent. Stack your shoulders directly over your hips. Your back right heel is lifted. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward. Sweep your arms back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge forward. Sweep your arms back. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Maybe sinking deeper into those hips, deeper bend to that left knee. Exhale, hinge forward. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge forward. Hold the hinge forward. And then sweep your arms out in front. Hopefully you have more room than I do. That door always gets in my way. We're going to pivot the right toes and open up the right hand coming into warrior two. Tee out the arms. Maybe look down. Seeing your left big toe just to the inside of your left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Deep exhale. Inhale, straighten that left arm. Reach your arms up high overhead. Exhale to bend. Inhale, lift. Lengthen that left leg. Exhale, bend. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen. Maybe bending deeper into that left knee with each bend. 1 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to bend. Holding and breathing. Maintain that bend in your front left knee. Reverse your warrior. Tuck your right hand behind your back towards your left hip crease or down your right leg, whichever is more comfortable. High five that wall behind you with your left hand. Commit to that bend. Come through warrior two. Extended side angle. Right arm comes up overhead. Left elbow towards left thigh. You can reach your left hand down. You can also reach it to blocks. Holding and breathing. Keep that left hand down towards the floor or on a block. Extend that left leg. Reach your right arm high. Coming into triangle. Squeeze your thighs together. Stack your shoulders. Imagine you're trying to press your left heel in towards your right arch. To deepen the sensation, rotate your pinky and your right shoulder back. You lose your balance, that's okay. Come back into it. You're not falling, you're not trying. Stack your shoulders. Reverse your triangle. Right hand behind your back or down your leg. High five that wall behind you. Inhale, On your next exhale, bend into that left knee, cartwheel your hands down to the floor or to blocks. Find your breath here. Both toes are facing forward. Your back right foot is lifted. From here, keep your right hand on the floor or on a block. Reach your left arm high towards the ceiling. Rotate, lifting up. Circle out your left wrist. Circle out your shoulder forwards and backwards. As you rise up, draw your left arm back, right arm forward. I'm always more wobbly on this side. Notice how one side is different than the other. That is completely normal. Deep inhale. High lunge with a twist. You are welcome to stay here with your arms out to a T, forwards and backwards. You can also bring your hands to prayer and then draw your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Holding and breathing. From here, we're going to step that right foot to meet the left. So you're welcome to bring your hands to center or hold that bind. We're going to step that right foot forward, hold it in that chair. Hips are low. From here, we're going to pulse for 3, 2, and 1. Rise up, arms up overhead, steeple grip. Cross your fingers, releasing your index fingers, crossing your thumbs, zip your legs together. Arms to the left, hips to the right. Come back through center. Arms to the right, hips to the left. One more time on each side. Hips to the right, arms to the left. Back through center. Enjoying that side stretch. Come back through center, swan dive forward. Hands to the floor or to blocks. Half lift, hands to shins, crown of your head. Away from your body, back to a forward fold. Step your right leg back, finding that low lunge. You can step your left leg back, coming into high plank. You can release your knees down as you lower your elbows, or extend your left leg up, keep it lifted, and lower down. And then come back, finding downward facing dog. All right, let's flow through that. 2 more times through. Moving breath to movement. So coming back to your downward facing dog, pedaling those heels. Lift your right leg high, 3-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack your hip. Square out your hips, extend your right leg. Draw your knee to your nose. Step it through. Ground through, rise up, high crescent. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you hinge forward, sweep the arms back. Inhale to rise. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hinge forward. One more. Inhale to rise. On the next one, hold the hinge forward. Inhale, sweep your arms forward. On your next exhale, pivot your left toes, open up, warrior 2. We're going to lift and lower for 4. And exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale to bend. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. Find that deepest bend in your right knee. Hold it here. Reverse your warrior. Left hand behind your back or down your leg. Come through warrior 2, extended side angle. Right hand down on your thigh. Maybe extend that right arm. You can also draw it forward. Straighten that front right leg. Draw your left arm high, coming into triangle. Maybe rotate your left arm back. From here, reverse. Curl the right arm up. We're going to cartwheel down to that right knee, bend into that right knee, pivot your left toes, everything facing forward. From here, left hand to the floor or a block, reach your right arm high, circle out your right wrist, circle your shoulder forwards and backwards. Keep those arms in a T, draw your upper body up, right hand back, left arm forward. Option to bring your hands to heart center, left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Twist, looking over that right shoulder. You're welcome to stay here or bring your torso to the center as you set that left foot to meet the right. Rise up, steeple grip. Hands to the right, bump your hips to the left. Come through center. Exhale, hips to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, hips to the left. Inhale, center. Really squeeze your biceps to your ears. Come back through center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, swan dive forward. Half lift, hands to shins. Forward fold. From here, step your left leg back. Step your right leg back. Find your flow. Lower down. Coming through tabletop or downward facing dog. Pedaling your heels. All right. Let's keep that going on the left side. Pedal those heels. Lower the heels, lift your left leg high, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee, stack your hip. Circle out your left ankle. Circle out your knee. Square out your hips. Extend that left leg straight. Draw your knee to your nose. Step it through. Rise up, high crescent. Ground through your back ball of your foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward. Sweep your arms back. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale to rise. Shoulders stack over your hips. Exhale, hinge forward. One more just like that. Inhale to rise. Beautiful work. Exhale, hinge forward. Hold the hinge forward. Sweep your arms around in front. Hold the breath here. Inhale as you pivot your back right foot. Open up. Warrior two. Deep bend into that front left knee. Holding and breathing. Inhale, lengthen your arms up. Straighten that left leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Getting deeper each time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. One more. Make it your best yet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Maintain that bend, that left knee. Reverse your warrior. Right hand behind your back towards your left hip crease or down your right leg. High five that wall behind you. Maintain that bend. Come through warrior two. Extended side angle. Left hand down to the floor. To your knee. A block. Maybe hover that left arm. Challenge your balance. You can also draw it forward. Holding here and breathing. Go and extend your left leg. Right arm comes up high. Hold it here. To deepen that stretch, rotate your right arm back. Hold that rotation. Reverse your triangle. Right hand back. Left arm up overhead. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pivot, cartwheel your hands down, bend to that left knee. Hands to the floor or to blocks. Keep your right hand on the floor or block. Reach your left arm high. Circle out your left wrist. Circle out your left shoulder forwards and backwards. Keep that extension of your arms as you roll up. Left arm back, right arm forward. You get the weebles and wobbles. Come back to your breath. Find your focus. You're welcome to hold it here. Get the arms out to a T. You can bring your hands to prayer and draw your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. You're welcome to hold it here, or you can pivot, bring your body back to center. Step your right foot to meet your left. Hold in chair. We're going to pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Rise up, steeple grip. Cross your fingers, release your index fingers. Zip your legs together. Hips to the right, hands to the left. Inhale through center. Hips to the left, hands to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, bump your hips further. Over to the right. Come back through center, deep inhale. Exhale, hips to the left, hands to the right. Come back through center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, swan dive forward. Forward fold, relax your neck. Hands to shins, half left, half lift. I can talk today. Back to our forward fold. From here, hands to the floor or block. Step your right foot back. Option, step your left foot back, lower the knees and lower down, or lift your left leg high and come down. Pressing up. Come back, downward facing dog. Pedal your heels. All right, let's do a little stretch and then we'll come back to that. Make it a little bit faster. Third and final time. Go ahead and come back, find your tabletop. Option to release your knees down if you like. We're going to lower down for 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way down. Untuck your toes. This is one of my favorite stretches. I think it's so underrated. Extend your right arm out long to a T. Keep your left hand directly under your left shoulder. Relax your right leg. Lift your left leg up and over to the outside of your right hip. Just letting your right cheek or ear come down to the floor. You can tilt to that outer knife edge of your left foot by rocking your hips slightly open a little bit more. On your next exhale, roll forward. Place your right hand directly under your shoulders. Give me 1 mini cobra. Release down. Make sure you have plenty of space on the opposite side. Extend your left arm directly out from your shoulder, broken T. Keep your right hand under your right shoulder. That left leg is completely relaxed. Lift your right leg high, draw it up and over to the outer left hip. Just letting your left cheek or ear come down to the floor. Maybe rocking onto that outer knife edge of your right foot. And then come back through center. Place your hands back under your shoulders. Give me 1 mini cobra. Release down. Walk your hands towards your lowest rib. Press up, full cobra. Tuck your toes. Come through tabletop or meet me in downward facing dog. Pedal your heels. We're going to take out all of those pulses and we're going to flow through that one more time on each side. Downward dog. Pedal your heels. Lower the heels, lift your left leg high, draw your knee to your nose, release your right foot down, rise up, inhale, high crescent, exhale, hinge forward, pivot your arms back, inhale, sweep your arms forward, exhale, pivot your left toes, open up warrior 2, we're going to lift and lower just one time, straighten that right leg, inhale, and deep exhale. Reverse your warrior, tuck your left hand behind your back or down your left leg. Commit to that bend in the knee, come through warrior 2, extended side angle. Any variation. Hold that right hand down. Extend that right leg coming into triangle. Maybe rotating your left shoulder back. Reverse your triangle. Left hand behind your back or down your left leg. High five that wall behind you. Cartwheel down to your right foot. Hands to blocks or the floor. Reach your right arm up. We're going to rise up, right arm back, left arm forward. From here, bring your hands to heart center. Bring your body forward. Step your left foot to meet your right. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Rise up, steeple grip. Bump your hips to the left, hands to the right. Come through center. One more on this side. Hips to the right, hands to the left. Come back through center. Swan dive forward. Hands to the floor. Let your neck hang nice and loose. Hands to shins. Step back down. Step your left foot back, right foot back, or find your flow. Three-legged dog. Come through. Tabletop or downward facing dog, pedaling your heels. All right, let's do this. Last time, and then we stretch. Lift your left leg high, three-legged dog. Draw your knee to your nose, step it through, high crescent. Find your balance, rise up. Shoulders stack over your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward. Sweep the arms back, hold the hinge forward. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. Pivot your right toes, open up, warrior two. Beautiful. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. Inhale, straighten that left leg, reach your arms up high, just one time. Bend that left knee. Maintain that bend. Reverse your warrior, tuck your right hand behind your back or down your right leg. Come through warrior two, extended side angle. Left hand to the floor, block your knee or hovering. Straighten that left leg, reach your right arm high. Spiral your shoulder open for a deeper sensation. Hold that shoulder open. Reverse your triangle. Keep the legs straight. Inhale. Exhale as you cartwheel down. Bend into your left knee. Hands to the floor, block. Reach your reach your left arm up high. Right arm stays down. We're going to rise up, twisted lunge. Option, bring your hands to heart center. Pivot forward. Step your right foot to meet your left. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Rise up, steeple grip. Zip your legs together. Hands to the left, hips to the right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hips to the left, hands to the right. Come back through center. Swan dive forward. Nothing loose, nothing hanging. Hands to shins. Back to forward fold. Step your right leg back. Option to step your left leg back, or you can keep that leg lifted, lower down. Rise up. Meet me in downward facing dog. Pedal your heels. All right, from here, release your knees gently to the floor. Release your left or right hip, coming to a seated position. Keep one block by your side. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. Reach your arms out towards your toes. We're going to slowly roll back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently roll all the way down. Extend your arms and legs long, opposite direction. Tiny arch in your back. And then draw your knees into your chest. Curve yourself into a tiny ball. You can grab the tops of your shins. You can grab opposite wrist, opposite elbows. Whatever is comfortable for you. Holding and breathing. Keep your right knee in towards your right shoulder. Extend your left leg long. Relax your head down to the floor. Relax your shoulders. Try to avoid your right rib cage. So drawing that right knee up towards your right shoulder. Left toes are flexed. Maybe point, flex, or circle out your right ankle. And then with your left hand, grab the outside of your right knee. Release your right hand by your right hip and gently pull your right knee across the left side of your body. And then gently looking over your right shoulder. You can extend your right arm long to a broken T. You can also bend your right elbow, palm facing up for cactus. Holding and breathing. On your next inhale, come back to center. Keep your right knee in towards your right shoulder and just circle out your hip. And then switching sides, extend your right leg long, draw your left knee in towards your left shoulder. Flex your right toes to press your right calf in towards the floor. Left knee draws in towards your left shoulder, wooding your rib cage. Point, flex, circle out your left ankle. And bring your right hand to the outer edge of your left knee. Release your left hand by your left hip and gently pull your left knee across the right side of your body. Keeping your shoulders down, gazing, looking over your left shoulder. You're welcome to keep your left hand down by the floor. You can also extend it out to a T. You can bend that elbow to open up your shoulder. You can place your left knee on a block or just press it down towards the floor. It doesn't have to touch the floor. Find that deep stretch in your lower spine, your lower abdomen. Then come back to center. Keep your left knee in towards your left shoulder. Drawing a few circles here. And reverse. From here, draw both your knees in towards your chest and draw your feet up towards the ceiling, coming into happy baby. Option to hold the back side of your thighs. You can also grab the outer edge of each foot and just rolling side to side. Draw your knees back together. Release your feet to the floor. Feet are close in towards your hips. Grab that block. Lift your hips, and on the lowest setting, place the block directly under your hips, and then letting your hips come onto the block. Letting your hips fall open. From here, bring your soles to touch. Butterfly your knees open. Noticing a different sensation as your hips are pressed into that block. Bring the soles of your feet back to the floor, knees together. From here, draw your right leg up towards the ceiling. Draw your left leg up towards the ceiling. Option to bring your arms up, legs up the wall. You can point, flex, maybe circle out your ankles. And of course, going in both directions. And then releasing one or both feet at the same time. Lowering them down to the floor, keeping your knees, feet flat on the floor, and lift your hips. Slide that block out from under your hips, release your hips back down. And then draw your legs back up towards the ceiling, noticing legs at the wall without the block. Circle out your wrists, circle out your ankles. From here, releasing one leg at a time or both legs together, down towards the floor. Letting your heels touch, toes fall open. Palms by your side, pinkies in. You can also bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, or bring the soles to touch. Whatever is more comfortable for you in your final resting position for class today. Deep inhale and deep exhale through the mouth. Closing your eyes. Coming back to that focus, that intention that you set in the beginning of class. Maybe wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. Extend your arms and legs long in opposite direction. Roll to your left or your right side. Curl your knees in towards your chest. With your top arm boxed out, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Sweep your arms up high overhead. Release your left hand to the outside of your right knee, right hand behind you or towards the block. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, hands come back overhead. Exhale, bring your right hand to the outside of your left knee, left arm behind you. Gazing, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Come back through center. Hands to heart center. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my practice with you today. Namaste.